Opinion: Trump's Apple Gambit a trade ploy or a geopolitical misstep? Last week, US President Donald Trump revealed that he had told Apple CEO Tim Cook not to build Apple products in India. It's a head-scratcher, especially since Apple's India push is in full swing. Is this Trump playing hardball with India's trade negotiators, or is he dead set on bringing manufacturing back to American soil? Either way, his words are sending ripples across boardrooms and borders. Trump's comments smell like a negotiation tactic to squeeze concessions from India, which is locked in high-stakes trade talks with the US. But if he doubles down on pushing Apple to shift production from China to the US instead of India, he could disrupt Apple's carefully laid plans, slow India's rise as a manufacturing hub, and muddy the geopolitical waters. His softer stance on China adds another layer of uncertainty, potentially undermining the very diversification Apple and India are banking on. This isn't just about iPhones, it's about power, economics, and global alliances. Apple's shift to India isn't just a corporate maneuver, it's a response to years of US-China trade wars and supply chain shocks, like Cavadira factory shutdowns in China. India, with its young workforce and government incentives, has become the darling of the China strategy, diversifying manufacturing away from Beijing's grip. Trump's tariffs, once as high as 145% on Chinese goods, fueled this pivot. Now, with the temporary tariff cut to 30% and trade talks humming, his sudden jab at India feels like a curveball. People care because this affects jobs, prices, and the global pecking order. If Apple's plans falter, iPhone prices could spike. Analysts warn of 3,000 phones if made in the US. India's economic ambitions could take a hit, and US-India ties could fray just when countering China matters most. Apple's India strategy is no small potatoes. In 2024, it churned out $22 billion worth of iPhones there, a 60% jump year-over-year, with plans to make 25% of global iPhones India soon. This isn't charity. India offers low labor costs, subsidies, and a growing market. Apple's move was spurred by Trump's own tariffs, which made China less viable. Yet, on May 15, 2025, in Qatar, Trump told Cook to ditch India for US production, claiming Apple agreed to up domestic output. Details are murky, and Apple's tight-lipped, but Cook reportedly isn't budging. Hey, race the rub. Making iPhones in the US is a logistical nightmare. America lacks skilled labor, supplier networks, and Asia's cost advantages. Analysts estimate US-made iPhones could triple in price, hitting $3,000. Trump's pressure might be a bluff to strong-arm India, which is negotiating a trade deal with zero tariff offers on the table, though India denies a done deal. He's also hinted at easing up on China, with a 9-0 tariff truce and talks of a long-term deal. If China gets a sweeter deal, Apple might slow its India expansion, as the urgency to diversify wanes. Geopolitically, this is a tightrope. India is a key US ally against China's influence, and Apple's investment bolsters its economy and strategic clout. Trump's comments risk alienating New Delhi, especially as Commerce Minister Piyush Goyal heads to the US for trade talks. A slowdown in Apple's plans could dent India's manufacturing dreams and signal to other firms that the US isn't fully behind India's rise. Meanwhile, a softer US stance on China could embolden Beijing, weakening the Indo-Pacific alliance. Posts on X reflect the tension, with some seeing Trump's move as America First patriotism, others as a blow to India's momentum. Swipe left for next video. Trump's telling Cook to ditch India feels like a poker player raising the stakes, hoping India folds with trade concessions. But this isn't just a game of tariffs, it's about where the world's tech gets made and who calls the shots. If Trump pushes too hard, he risks jacking up iPhone prices, stalling India's growth, and handing China an edge. Apple's caught in the middle, and so are we, waiting to see if Trump's bluff pays off or backfires. One thing's clear in this global chess match: every move counts, and the board just got messy. The writer is a columnist. His articles have appeared in various publications like The Independent, The Globe and Mail, South China Morning Post, The Straits Times, etc. Views expressed in the above piece are personal and solely those of the author. They do not necessarily reflect NEWS18's views. Latest blogs.